Welcome to Stars X. In the heart of the 1990s, a city known for its theme parks and rising music scene became the birthplace of one of the most influential boy bands of all time. This is the story of NSYNC, five young men who rose to international superstardom, changed pop music forever, and continue to hold a special place in the hearts of millions. The story of NSYNC begins in 1995 with Chris Kirkpatrick, a talented vocalist and performer from Orlando, Florida.
Meek from Chicago. She says, when did you first hear about the group that you would eventually join? And what was the process of putting you all together? Well, the first answer is probably I didn't join it, I started it. So I could start with the second part of the question. What was the process of putting you all together? Well, I had a band, I had a quartet down in Orlando, Florida, and we used to perform around, and unbeknownst to what most people say, I did not try out for the Backstreet Boys ever. Not that I don't like the Backstreet Boys, but I just never tried out for the Backstreet Boys.
After a brief run with the group The Hollywood High Tones, Chris had bigger ambitions and reached out to a well-known music manager, Lou Pearlman, in hopes of forming a new vocal group. Pearlman was already responsible for another rising boy band, the Backstreet Boys, but he saw potential in Chris's idea. The two set out to find other talented singers. Through industry connections, they discovered Justin Timberlake and Chasez, both of whom had gained experience on Disney's The Mickey Mouse Club. The trio clicked immediately. Next, they recruited Joey Fatone, a friend of Chris's from Universal Studios in Orlando. The group initially had a different bass singer, but when he dropped out, they found their missing piece. Lance Bass, a teenage singer from Mississippi, who was recommended by Justin's vocal coach. With the lineup complete, they named themselves NSYNC, a play on the last letters of their first names, Justin, Chris, Joey, Jason, and JC. Lance later adopted the nickname Lanston to fit the pattern. With Pearlman's backing, NSYNC moved to Germany, where they recorded their debut album and quickly gained a massive following.
Isn't it strange to be in a band and be together all of the time when there's such a difference in age and what?
Well, it's kind of like, I mean, we're like brothers, you know. It's not like, you know, best friends kind of thing. It's more like a relationship. I mean, we are like brothers. He's like my little brother.
Their first singles, I Want You Back and Tearin' Up My Heart, became instant hits overseas. In 1998, after proving themselves in Europe, they returned to the United States to make their mark. Their American debut album, NSYNC, featured the same hit singles, catapulting them into mainstream success. With appearances on MTV's Total Request Live and a growing fan base, NSYNC became one of the hottest names in pop music. But behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. Despite their skyrocketing fame, the band discovered that their manager, Lou Pearlman, had been financially exploiting them.
He was the official sixth member of NSYNC.
Which meant what?
Which meant that whatever I made, he would make. And then on top of that, 20%. And then on top of that, the record label commission. He was triple dipping for sure, which as a 16-year-old, you don't understand what that even means.
Their contracts were unfair, and they were earning far less than expected. Determined to take control of their careers, NSYNC sued Pearlman and their record label, breaking free in 1999. With their legal battles behind them,
Strauss Zelnick, who was our boss, head of BMG, was our mediator. And so we sat around a table, gave our side of the story. Lou gave his side of the story. Because we literally thought Strauss was going to be the one to be able to say, Lou, come on, you got to be fair. Like, do this. This is what you got to do. End of story. Okay, go and make your album. But it wasn't anything like that. When Lou sued us. And so when Lou sued us, it was over the name. And that's when we went to court. And the judge sided for us to, keep the name because her daughter has our poster on her wall. And so she's like, these guys are obviously NSYNC, and Lou, you're not on her wall, so you're not NSYNC. So she gave us our name, and then we were able to go forward with recording more music under it.
NSYNC was ready for a fresh start. In 2000, they released No Strings Attached, an album that symbolized their newfound independence. The album shattered records, selling 2.4 million copies in its first week, a feat unmatched at the time. Songs like Bye Bye Bye, It's Gonna Be Me, and This I Promise You dominated the charts, cementing NSYNC's place as pop royalty. Building on their momentum, NSYNC released Celebrity in 2001, showcasing a more mature sound. Their Pop Odyssey tour became one of the biggest productions of its time. But behind the scenes, change was coming. By 2002, Justin Timberlake announced his solo career, leading to what was initially called a temporary hiatus. The group never officially disbanded, but their time as a full-time act came to an end. While NSYNC fans hoped for a reunion, the members pursued their individual passions. Justin Timberlake became one of the world's biggest solo artists. Chasez released a solo album and became a judge on America's Best Dance Crew. Joey Fatone transitioned into TV and acting. Lance Bass became an LGBTQ+ advocate and TV personality. Chris Kirkpatrick focused on voice acting and reality TV. Fans rejoiced when NSYNC briefly reunited at the 2013 MTV Video Music Awards. Though it was short-lived, it reignited nostalgia and demand for a reunion. In 2018, the group was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, celebrating their contributions to music. After 20 years, NSYNC recorded their first new song, Better Place, for the 2023 movie Trolls Band Together.
It's kind of crazy, like, there's so much that just picks up right where it left off as far as the chemistry. Yeah, we've been in the studio, so there may be a little.
In 2024, for the first time in over 2 decades, NSYNC reunited on stage for a live performance, performing classics and debuting a new song, Paradise. From their humble beginnings in Orlando to worldwide superstardom, NSYNC defined an era of pop music. Their influence remains strong, proving that great music and great friendships stand the test of time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.